All right, guys, we got a new attitude. We got some new parts. We're gonna try to get this girl back together and back on the road. Let me show you what we got. All right, guys, we should put a disclaimer on this. This is probably should be titled "How Not to Change Third and Fourth Gear in an 8-4 transmission." We're just a couple poor boys trying to get by. And we're gonna get this thing figured out. This chunk of steel will not defeat us. We will figure it out. So, you guys see in the last video, we got all this out. Let me show you, look, you can see really well here what the problem is. This is what they call a sliding clutch. This is the old one. This is the new one. And you see the difference in how these teeth are wore right here compared to right there. See how those are wore down to a point, and this is nice and flat right here. That's where it actually slides into gear and catches. And that is the majority of the issue. Now that latches into this. It goes down there and latches into that. So if you guys look at the old gear, you'll notice it's also worn as well versus the new gear, which is not.
Boy, I didn't think that was that bad, but it is really bad.
What? One of these days. You're
right. I didn't think it was that bad. It is.
I was going to do a montage of you saying you're right, but then I realized there were so many of them, it's pointless. Like every video is just a montage of you're right, you're right.
Oh. All right, what's next?
Oh, we're going to the next subject now?
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do tonight if you want this back in by midnight.
What's next? I don't even know. That's first gear, that's second gear, third gear. We need third gear. You got a third gear anywhere? Third gear would be, not that one. This is third gear, right here. No, that's not third gear. It's definitely not third gear. This is third gear.
That's the new one.
That's the new third gear.
Yeah.
So let's put new third gear in.
Yeah, we have got to get this done.
I don't think that's third gear. I think third gear's over here.
Third gear is what you said we're replacing.
Look at here.
Oh, we do have a new. Okay. You're right.
All right. I promise this thing might work. I'm gonna go with might. So, all right, let's slide this in here. Trying to show you guys how this works. I don't know. You can call these what you want. Thrust washers, holder washers. The way they work is they're splined to go on the shaft. So you go put these in there and it goes to this groove right here, and then it turns a half a spline. Then whenever it turns a half a spline, there's this little bitty rod. See if I can get down there and get you guys a shot of it.
Can't get there. I got it sticking out.
You stick it out over there? All right, here, let's show them back there. This little rod here drives in next to there, and it keeps it from turning so it can't come back out of there. So I'll tap it in a little bit.
There's that light. You watch.
Yeah, I can feel it down here. I can feel it more than I can.
Ready?
Come on, yep.
More?
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Oh. There it goes. See how it locks in? A little bit more. Okay, hold it right there. That's it. I know you guys can't always see it down there. It's right down in there, but it locks that washer in, and that's what that gear rides up against. So now we gotta put the gear in. So this is the
You getting
gear.
excited?
This gear, yeah, we're actually putting something back together. This gear goes this way. Yeah, I took this gear out of there, so it's gotta go back in there. Make sure.
I ain't doing no talking today. I'm being quiet and learning. I have never done this before.
Learn you something today?
And I probably won't ever do it again, but
all right,
it is neat.
So this is a thrust washer. It goes between these two gears. See how it's got little grooves in it? You know what those are for?
What are them for?
That's where the termites get in there. No, it's not where that's where the oil gets in there to keep it lubricated so it don't gold.
That's what I was gonna say.
So that's what you're gonna say, huh?
Yeah.
So that goes in there. Now that goes in there and turns that little bit.
Yep.
And then that, gosh dang it, so close. Turned and then engaged. All right, now drive your pin forward a little bit. Keep coming. Oh, right there. All right, so then gotta put, this is third gear. Does not go through that hole. Goes through this hole. So that goes back there, and then this washer here is what goes in there to hold it in place. So I'll work it back in that hole now. And I got to turn, let me have that air flashlight. A little more. All right there. Okay, so then we go to our sliding clutch, which is this. Now, if you guys look, see this right here, where it's got this big hole? That's where your pin goes through. You got that?
What pin?
The pin you've been pushing through to lock everything together. Now, I'm going to confirm one thing here. So I'm going to slide this on there with that in your pinhole. That didn't sound good, did it?
No. But I mean, it is right.
There. All right, slide your pin up through there.
Ready?
Yep.
More?
Yep. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, yes. All right.
Is that it?
That's it for now. So now we got to put the input shaft back in and get it timed, which is going to be fun. All right, guys, not going to lie, we struggled with this in real life, and I did not do a very good job explaining it as we were actually doing it. But you see these red marks on this gear here? Basically, the way these transmissions have to be timed. The counter shafts have to be timed to the main shaft, so everything will, all the teeth will mesh together and it'll rotate properly. So basically what you do is you mark two adjacent teeth, and real important that you count correctly here. That ends up biting me in the butt later. And you'll also see that I've got the teeth marked when I should have been actually marking the V, marking the low part instead of the high part. So basically you just, you see I got a C on top there, I mark center, you count so many teeth one way, so many teeth the other way, then it should be equal on the bottom, and mark the two adjacent teeth. Now once you have that done, you go down inside the transmission, and it's impossible to see these, but you can see I've got them painted there. There's an O on two teeth, one on each counter shaft, and that O, you can kind of see that tooth marked there. That O is what fits into the V you mark on that main drive gear, and that's how you time these transmissions. As far as I know, pretty much all these Eaton Fuller transmissions are pretty much timed the same. Some are just a little easier to see and easier to get to. This one here, for some reason, was kind of a pain. We also replaced the input shaft in this transmission. This is the old one I have in my hand there. It's actually not in too bad a shape. The snout's wore just a little bit. A lot of times you get grooves right there in that spline, and it'll make your clutch want to catch and not release properly. This one here wasn't horrible, but we had it out, so we went ahead and replaced it. Now this you can do. You can replace this input shaft with ease without taking the transmission down. You just basically take that front bearing cover off, pop the first snap ring off, and the bearing will come out, pop the second snap ring out, and the input shaft will come out. So that is a pretty easy item to replace if you're just putting a clutch in the truck and trying to go back. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. We were on the struggle bus here, as you guys will see in a little bit. All right, man, behind the scenes, we're like, I know if you guys are watching this, it may seem like this video is a little bit out of order. We're gonna like skip forward like 8 hours.
Yeah, let's do that.
But check out all them awesome new parts down in there. Everything works nice and rolls.
It does. It does.
I got a feeling you're getting ready to go in the store.
Yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. Ask me why.
I'm guessing that's no joke.
And that's no joke. All right, now come over here. I know you were showing them at the beginning how you You mark these, so you got your straight across center. Like, well, this one was marked straight across center. What was wrong with the other one that we battled for 8.5 hours trying to get in there?
It was more like 7.5, 8.5.
No, it was every bit of 8.
Well, somebody can't count.
Okay. Now, this is my biggest problem I got. Now,
I'm gonna sit down for this.
Yes, you are gonna sit down for this. Now, remember when we got to tearing into this, I'm like, man, is there any way we could just change them gears out like right here inside without having to try to mangle everything out? Because we did that for 2 hours. 2 hours we did that.
Think of all the valuable experience. Just think of all the valuable experience you've gained.
And
now
we
whenever your
ended up
buddy
doing
says,
it my way.
now whenever a buddy says, hey, I've got a 10-speed transmission, need to change a few gears, and you're like, I got this, dude.
I'm gonna stick with that 10-speed bicycle.
Before today, you wouldn't have had a clue.
Oh, no, I learned quite a bit, and I felt like I led us through. Because what did we end up doing? We went to my way and changed the gears out inside. Which you learned a lot off of that, didn't you?
I'm not even going to argue with him at this point. So,
and who was the one that laid it out? Go ahead and tell them. Who laid it out?
It was me.
That was wrong?
I'm not going to argue that point. Okay,
right.
so
I helped you, though.
let's tell them so nobody else makes the same mistake as we do. The counter shafts, which are these marks here, they have a one tooth that's got an O on it.
Yes.
All right, and then your main drive gear, you got to find the 2 adjacent teeth and mark the V, and the O's got to go in the V. And if you got your V off from your O, you don't have a good mesh. That's
now,
no joke.
Can this turn?
Yes, it'll turn. Well, we got to get our lifting wire out of there.
Yeah, let's get that out, and we'll show them our lines that we put on there.
All right, so input shaft slides in with a snap ring, and you got a spacer before you put your bearing on. But before we do that, you gotta show them all your pretty Tommy marks all lined up.
There's the right V marks in there.
Oh, you gotta go all the way around.
Yep. A couple times.
Yep.
Now. Uh-oh.
There they are. So that O lines up with that V, and this O lines up with that V, and they are very difficult to see. Very difficult Tommy marks to see.
But after we found your mistake you made, it didn't take, what, 35 minutes, and we had it back together after we took it all
we didn't have
apart?
nothing. We didn't have nothing better to do today. So, if anybody's wondering, I'm not going to go into great depth on this, but this right here is reverse. This sliding clutch right here is reverse and first. This one here, second, third. No, we're going to start that over. This is reverse and low. This is second and third. First.
Start over again.
Take 3.
Yeah.
Stick with me. Reverse, low, second. It's been a long day.
Yeah, take back what you said about what else do we have to do.
Take 72. Here we go. Reverse, low, first, second, third, fourth. Bam! Nailed it. Now, if you want 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, you got to put the back box on, which is over there, and switch to high to low. So, whenever you're shifting the clutch or you're shifting gears, you're just basically sliding these things in and out. Turn it just a little bit. Turn it, see how that'll slide in there like that? And I'll show you later how the shift forks work on that. But all right, so now we got to put the front bearing in and put the front bearing in, put the bell housing back on. And one other thing to point out is this front bearing cover that goes on. I did mark it. See, I marked it right there because it's got a drain hole and it's got to be oriented just right because that drain hole has to line up with that hole down there.
Did you mark it right,
That's important, man, behind the scenes. I'll let you
Your
double
marks
check.
have not been right yet today.
Let's put a bearing on. As you can see, man, behind the scenes is over there eating while some of us are working pretty hard here putting this on, but what I was going to show you is
Show me your empty plate.
that hole right there has to line up with that hole right there, which I got a mark up here that corresponds with the mark right there you can barely see. So we'll bolt that up on there and go on. All right, next thing on the list is the bell housing. Got us a fancy new gasket. Don't worry, man, behind the scenes, I went through all the trouble cleaning that up for
That's
you.
good.
It's nice
I
and
had
pretty.
paperwork to take care of. I had food to eat.
Let's do it.
That's what I did.
Well, I don't know. I was hoping you did. Oh. Get out there. You got any wires?
I think it's getting heavier.
You tall enough?
Oh boy. Yeah, I'll be able to get it. That side's on.
That side's on.
All right. That's a plus.
You got
this
it?
one. Yeah, I got it. Go ahead and put the bolt nuts on. Right here.
All right, I'm missing a nut.
Huh? No, I put everything on that cart.
Except for one nut.
No, I put it there now. You may have took it and used it for something.
What did I do with it?
Knowing you probably threw it in that trash can over there.
Seriously, I'm missing a nut.
Okay. You swept it up.
Where the hell's my bus? Right here.
Up Legos?
No. I was looking for your nut.
Hey, you found it.
I did find
I am proud of you. If it took you, after it took me 30 minutes to organize that and find all the sockets for that set, had it looking nice and neat, but if it took you to throw that on the floor to find that socket, or that
well, good news. Mission
nut,
accomplished.
you did a heck of a job. I'm proud of you. Thank you, boss.
The best part was I spilt your beer in the process, so.
Yeah, you did. That's all right. You can clean that mess up too.
All right, Aaron's getting the back box ready to go back on. I got the shift cover housing all done, ready to go. These things here slide down. These things right here. Whenever you move the gear shifter, that's what slides that back and forth and changes the gear. So, got a new gasket, got it all cleaned up. We're going to set it down on there and go for it. Next on the list is to get the back box on, and it's a whole lot easier to do that if it's up like this, so we're going to try to do that without killing ourselves. Everybody calls the Mack box of a transmission. This is where the magic happens whenever you put the little lever and go from high to low inside the cab. Basically, this big synchronizer here goes from gear reduction here to direct drive straight on through. So, bring it on. Yeah, bring her on down easy. Got a new gasket in there. Well, I think she's ready to go back in. I was gonna have to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree. I will agree with you this time.
That stupid little thing kicked our butt today, but we won.
We did win.
Well, I'm not gonna talk too much crap till we're going down the road, but for now, it's a win. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. We're gonna put that in the truck, put the clutch in the truck, and hopefully be going down the road. So see you in the morning. You get your beauty sleep last night?
Oh, I did. I slept like a baby.
Glad one of us did.
I think the reason I did is because we got that transmission back together.
Well, today hasn't started off a whole lot better.
Not for you, but for me it did.
So yeah, I got up early. I was gonna come in here, put the pilot bearing and the clutch brake on. So whenever he got here, we could slide and put the transmission in. Guess what we don't have? Pilot bearing and clutch brake. I paid for both. I asked for both. Somebody didn't give me both. So Cleveland is rounding those up, but we still gotta get the old one out. So we're gonna do that. Under I go.
Hey, you got a new creeper?
I do got a new creeper. I paid for that too. All right, we got our puller hooked up and our way oversized slide hammer here. Let's see if we get this pilot bearing out of here. Come on, baby. Here she comes. All right, out with the old, in with the new. I got my little driver fancy setup here. A little persuasion from the hammer. There we go. The only time that bearing gets used is when the clutch is pushed in and the input shaft spins in there, because the input shaft is not turning and this is, but that's it. Aaron, can you hand me them 2 bolts I cut right there?
Yep, sure can. You want one at a time or?
No, I can handle both of them.
Okay.
So these right here are 2 10mm bolts we cut off. We'll thread these in right here, and that's what we'll use to guide that clutch on there. It'll make our life a lot easier, so we don't have to hang from that. So there we go. Clutch is next. All right, guys, first step is we got to get the clutch assembly up on here. I cut these 2 bolts off. These are basically going to be alignment dowels, so hopefully I can get it in these 2 holes here. We can slide it on. I got this first plate just leaned up there. It's actually got a sticker on the back side that says towards the flywheel. So they make a fancy little jack, a fancy little tool to do this. Guess what we don't have?
Nah, we're working harder, not smarter.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go the brute strength. The brute strength route.
That's why you got me. I mean, not to do it, to coach you through it.
You ready? First stop is right there.
Okay. Now, if I can.
Let me get in here a little bit closer. Ready? Up too high.
There.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now. All right, so now that we got the clutch hanging up there, we got to get all those splines aligned with that pilot bearing back there. That's what this tool here is for. So All right, we got our alignment tool in. We got all of our bolts started. Now, whenever you tighten this down, you don't want to. You're going to compress those springs, so you kind of got to work it in a little bit to make sure it goes in evenly. All right, man, behind the scenes, we got our alignment tool all sliding in and out of there all nice and easy. Everything bolted down and torqued. We did put our clutch adjustment on the bottom so we can get to that easier later. I think we're ready for a transmission.
All right, the easy part.
Well, compared to everything else, it might be. All right, getting ready to slide the transmission in. Always a good idea to have the floor nice and clean, especially whenever your transmission jack has some. You have one good idea in the last 6 years. I'm gonna hear about it forever.
Yeah.
I have so many good ideas. I get tired talking about them.
Hey, put that air hose up too, so it ain't in our way.
I'll get to it in a minute, everybody. You don't think we can just build a ramp and ramp the transmission over the air hose?
Man, I wish. We could do it.
The way
it may take 8 hours.
The way our luck is going, it'll land on Mars. All right, so next thing we gotta do is install the clutch brake. And I hope that slides past that yoke. It does, slowly. Come on, there we go. So what that does is, whenever you push the clutch all the way down, the throwout bearing pushes up against that, and it stops the input shaft from spinning, so you can get it into gear without grinding. So whenever we put that in, we'll have to make sure this yoke is down. Just slide past that throwout bearing, and we should be good to roll. So see if we can get this old girl stabbed in there. All right, guys, I didn't film a whole lot of it. We got the transmission in here and bolted up. A couple things when you do that is you got to make sure that input shaft goes through those splines and gets into that pilot bearing we put in there. That went pretty smooth. The other thing is, I don't know if you can see up in there, but that clutch fork has to go around that yoke up there, and we will adjust that at a later point. Then we got all our mounting bolts and everything in. But everything is bolted up and ready to go. Aaron's going to take over on the bottom, get the PTO back on, all that good stuff. We're gonna head up top and get the shift tower in, the floorboard and everything on. So let's do it. All right, Aaron's down below working. Next thing we're gonna work on is these are the detent balls that actually hold it in the gear while you're going down the road. I took these out so we wouldn't drop them and lose them. They go in these holes here. And then I'm gonna drop one of those down the transmission, that'd be bad. Springs go on top of them, like so. And then we get a fancy new gasket. Oh, we're gonna take that bolt out. How's it going down there, man, behind the scenes?
Oh.
Feels more like man under the truck right now.
Yeah, man under the truck is not having luck.
All right, now I need a shift tire. So this piece right here is what they call the shift tire. This is what bolts to the top of the transmission. This goes down and operates the shift forks, which puts in little sliding clutches back and forth, puts you in and out of gear. The old one was getting pretty loose in there. Went ahead and got a new one, picked up, put on there. Hopefully that'll tighten up the gear shifter a little bit. So let's get her slid down on there. All right, guys, get you guys caught up to speed here. It is so hard to film this, so trying to explain what's going on. We got the shift tire back in. There's two lines over here that go to the selector switch up here. What this valve is here, this will not allow it to shift from high to low unless you're in neutral. One thing that's really important is making sure you get all these brackets back on that hold these wires and stuff up. See, there's one there too. That saves you so many headaches later. I don't know, you can always tell who's working on something or whether or not they get all the bolts in the right spot and all the bracketry on. But top side's pretty much done. We're ready to put the floorboard back on. Gonna take you other side, bottom side, that side, down there where he's at, and show you what we got going on there. All right, we got the transmission coolant lines hooked up. We got the transmission temperature line hooked up. Aaron is putting up the PTO pump drive, which you can't just go throw this in there all willy-nilly. There's actually these gaskets or shims to manage that gear clearance in there. That's all done. We got we grab this light. Oh, come here, light. We got all the clutch linkages back up. There's actually multiple adjustments here. This here, right there. I don't know if you can see where my finger's at. Hold on a second. Get a better shot of it. That is the clutch brake adjustment. That clutch brake's supposed to engage about an inch to inch and a half before the clutch hits the floor. That's where you adjust that. And then up in this hole here, which you can't see no more, there's a bolt on the clutch, and that adjusts the free travel. Let me take you to the upper side and I'll show you what that is. But how's it going, sir? You look awfully comfortable over there.
I am. I'm just kind of glad you gave me a warning, gave me time to wake up before he came down.
We're getting close. The end's in sight.
Who would have thought it would have been inside?
All right, so here's what we're talking about as far as clutch adjustments. You want this pedal to travel 2.5, 3 inches before it does anything. That's about 2.5 inches, and then it'll go through the disengage process, and you guys aren't going to be able to tell. About an inch before it hits the floor, it engages that clutch brake, which slows that input shaft down. So that old pedal, that's one way you can tell if your clutch is going bad, is if you are going bad or needs adjustment. And my old clutch, it went out about that far, engaged, and it was out of adjustment. So I knew it was only a matter of time before it went out. We're feeling pretty good now. So next on the list, I'm gonna throw the floorboard back in while Aaron's working on that pump. Get the passenger seat back in, and hope it works. Kind of a multi-layered deal here. The floorboard piece goes down there first. You gotta pull that boot up through it like so. And that will go sit down in there all nice and pretty.
Yeah, you can keep that dirt up there.
Oh, sorry about the dust there, buddy. And then fancy little trim ring goes next. It's got rounded versus 45, so they have to go a certain way. Just like that. Then we got a whole bunch of these little bolts to hold it all down. All right, big panel's down. Next to go down is the piece that holds the shift boot. It's this little metal guy here, like so. And it just has a handful of little Torx head screws. Whoops, about dropped one. Drive shaft install, how difficult can it be? You ready?
Yep.
Good? Still good? More? Need me to come in and help you?
We're gonna have to, you're gonna have to come down. We're gonna have to get this pushed back now. Hold that.
Okay. All right, drive shaft's all in. Next on the list, we got 3 air lines and electrical connection right here. These are the air shift solenoids for the PTO. You have a dump trailer on, it makes it go up and down. If you got the low boy on, it makes it go up and down. And this here is what turns it all on, just all push lock connectors. And then this here is the wire. Where's the end of it at? Somewhere there's an end, I promise. Where is the end? Stuck in here somewhere. Well, whenever I find the end of this wire, there it is. This goes on here. That turns the light on in the cab. It tells you the PTO is engaged. Take some zip ties and tidy all that up, and we'll be good to roll. All right, we gotta get Aaron's seat in over there, so he's got a place to ride comfortably. Apparently, he don't care much for the floorboard, so oh, that's next on the list. Apparently, Aaron thinks it's important that we tighten his seat down. I think it'd be fun to be driving around seeing you wobble back and forth like a bobblehead. Till you fall out and I need you. That wouldn't be good. All right, I think everything inside's done. I got your seat all bolted back in. Gear shifter all feels good. Only thing we have to do underneath is fill it full of oil. How's that going?
Well, I mean, once again, last one working.
It's like you've got a lot of tools to clean up.
You know, you could be doing that right now while I'm finishing this up. I'm about halfway done.
I really
By the
want
time I get done, you have all
I really want to make a comment right now, but I'm not sure if it's YouTube appropriate.
I'm sure you could show me up at it.
You getting your exercise for later?
Yeah, I am. I got a model shoot tonight.
You ready for the moment of truth?
Yes, I am.
Step 1, make sure it starts. Step 2, make sure the clutch disengages. Step 3, make sure it goes through all of the gears. I just like right now, we assume it's fixed, so I don't even want to start it to...
I'm good with that too. I mean, it is a holiday weekend and...
Yeah, it is Labor Day weekend. All right, let's do it.
Have your foot on the brake and clutch just in case.
Step 1's good. It started. Step 2. Let's see if the clutch works. Well, that feels so much different. Ooh, yeah. We got gears. Let's see if she rolls. Behind the scenes, we're rolling without any funny noises.
That's good.
Yes, let's
we got
go.
first gear.
Go through the gears and see what we got here. Ooh, that's different. Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah. It's like a whole new transmission. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
That's nice. That just needs to do it for like
I just wish you'd have had taken off on video.
Yeah, the new clutch, it grabs like 3/4 pedal sooner than the old one. Like the old one wouldn't grab until it's like right at the top. This one's like, it's time, boys. It's time to go. It's gonna take a little bit of getting used to. Back from our test drive, went pretty smooth. We had an annoying noise that sounded like metal on metal, which is that's a little more annoying. That's a little bit concerning, right?
Yes, it is.
But fortunately, we were able to diagnose it, and it's a really easy fix. I don't know if you guys can see, right? Let me get that light just right there. Apparently, in there we bolted our carrier bearing up. Right here, this bearing is in slotted holes, and it can go left or right. And we didn't quite get her bolted up square, so we're gonna tighten that down right and do another test drive and find out. We got a fender rattle back here, but I think our noise is gone.
I ain't hearing it yet. That's a good thing.
Whew. Your mind always goes to the worst whenever you hear a noise like that.
Yeah, it does.
Fortunately, we didn't pull the transmission out to figure out we had a crooked carrier bearing.
Yeah.
Because that would have been bad.
I think I'll let you do that yourself.
There she is, man, behind the scenes. She's ready to roll, ready to go back to work.
Yes, she is.
Not a minute too soon. Unfortunately, somebody else is getting her to go back to work.
Go back now.
You gotta tell them. This is it till what? Probably first of the year.
Yeah, be probably first of the year before I make
no
it back.
More man behind the scenes till the first of the year. It's party time.
Yeah, for you.
I'm going on vacation till the first of the year, so
hey,
rest up while you're at work.
You know. Yeah, I know this termination ain't gonna go good for me.
I guess relationships kind of like a marriage. We need some time apart.
Yeah, yeah. I wish it was that easy.
All right, guys, there she is. That was quite the eventful project as always.
Had one little hiccup though when we hooked the trailer up.
Yeah, somebody had a 50-50 shot of getting the PTO airlines right. And fail. I told this guy, I said, you should mark those. And he's like, oh, no, we'll do it later. We'll worry about that later.
No, don't even worry about marking them. Let's just cut them. Well, apparently, let's not even try to pop them out.
2 days later.
Yeah.
Easy fix. So, all right. Tell them, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I about messed up. I'm getting it down.
And I'll see you first of the year.
Yep. Enjoy it.
And I'll see the rest of you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.